All right, guys, MMAOB Daily Podcast, Sunday, July 6, 2025. I'm your host, as always, Adam Martin, Big Marcel. Apologies for starting a little bit late here, guys. I was trying to start 15 minutes ago, but I've had some computer issues here. So my complete apologies for that. Some technical issues, Marcel, that are fucking us over today, so I'm not thrilled about it, but we're here, we're live, and ready to go. I'm going to tweet on my personal account just because the Oddsbreaker account's not working, so
yeah.
Glad you guys are here. Marcel, what's going on, brother? Glad to have you here as always.
Yeah, man, everything good, man. How are you doing, man?
Not bad, man. Just pissed off because the technology's not helping me, but yeah. Just tweeting it out here, Marcel. That's why I was teeing you up there, but just give me a second here. I was hoping Marcel would talk while I did this.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
okay, don't worry about it. Let's go to the chat. We got Tristan and Joe. What's up, guys? Glad to have you guys here. Yeah, a little bit of an earlier show today. I appreciate Marcel helping me do a little bit earlier. So we're going to preview UFC Nashville. There we go, Lazy Bed. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, we actually started, but there was an issue. So I had to start again. And now it looks like it's okay. Although I can't change my background. So apparently I'm still in San Diego, Marcel, in the background, but I'm not.
Yeah, yes,
apparently, but no, I'm actually at home. Seamus, what's up, brother? Glad to have you here. Tristan sucks with his own UFC. I watched that concert the whole day yesterday, 10 hours. I'm glad there was no UFC. 10 hours, Marcel. I sat in my chair. I only got to take a piss a couple times. That's it. Didn't even eat. I ate after the event. It was sick. One of the best concerts I've ever seen. All my favorite bands, pretty much. Marcel was amazing. So I was so happy about that. I'm talking about the Back to the Beginning, Black Sabbath show. All the best bands in the world were there. What's up, Paul? Glad to have you here. You fucking cunt. Right, Paul? That's what we call each other? That's what Paul calls me, so I call him that too. Anyways, Marcel, we're going to preview UFC Nashville. You told me, and I saw this yesterday too, but 6 p.m. Eastern start now, so they moved it an hour.
Yeah, man, I like that actually because I think the fight night should be earlier. By the way, man, not that late. It's still late, but it's still better than 7, right? So
I agree.
Yeah, all good.
I agree. All right, cool. And it's crazy. I actually think my other computer is actually working now. Crazy enough, so I might be able to get into that one. But let me take a look here.
Your face is barely on the screen.
I know, that's what because I have my computer and my laptop in front of it, so that's what's going on right now. Marcel, you got to help me out here. You got to talk and tee these people up.
Hey guys, what's up? How are you doing? I'm doing well. How are you guys?
And answer some questions or something. Sorry, guys. I'm going to try to fix
it. Sucks when there is no UFC. Hey, man, I don't mind it. Sometimes it's nice to have a week off, but I understand that you think that way. Paul says, hello, lads. How is it going? It's all good, Paul. Thanks for being here. Danger Mouse says, aye up, guys. What's up? Paul says, haha, welcome's a way of hello. Joe says, agree, Marcel. And Paul says, poor hot chocolate yesterday.
Did he lose? I didn't see the event. He lost? Ray Roberts?
Oh, yeah. He lost to Patrick Habirora.
Who's that? I don't know. I gotta be honest with you guys. I'm not really watching these PFL Europe cards. I should.
He's a Belgian guy. He fought for LFL and he won a trip to GSP's training camp. So.
I love how you know everything about it, even though you messaged. You're like, dude, I'm really not into this card. You said,
nah, but I know this because he fought for the Dutch league. How do you say that organization? Seamus says, "What's up, Lazy Bet? We got it this time. No worries."
Yeah.
Joe says, "What's up again?" Let me see. Tristan.
I can fix this. I think I can get it on my other computer.
Daniel Mofo, what do you mean week of we had double PFL? Yeah, true. But I don't really care about the MENA card, to be really honest. Tristan, is UFC trying to turn Road to UFC into a feeder league by adding UFC level fights? I think they just want to make that thing like a whole week of Shanghai UFC fights, and they hope probably more people will view it if they put some UFC fights on it. So I have no idea. It's just weird, man. You know, Xi Ming fights in the card, Road to UFC. On the UFC card, gets a bonus. It's not counted as a UFC fight, but now it's counted as a UFC fight while it's fighting on the road. What's up, Adam?
You can hear me. Okay, perfect. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I'm back. I don't know what the fuck was going on there, but we're back. Technical issues. Fucking pissed off, but I'm here. So thank you, Marcel, for helping me out there. Sorry about that, guys. Apologies for being late. Sorry, what did you say?
I was at Lazy Bet, so you can
keep reading them if you don't mind. Yeah.
Enjoy some Ultimate Rules Japanese kickboxing this weekend. UFC break wasn't so bad. That's good, man. Lazy Bet. Paul, unless you're a Zach, no one cares for PFL.
I love Zach. He watches every fucking event. He's my boy. Zach's one of my favorite guys in the industry, to be honest. He watches every fucking event, which is incredible. So nothing but respect.
Craig says, "What's up, guys?"
Craig's here. What's up, Craig?
Yeah, Craig Crowley. What's up,
Mr. Crowley? They played that yesterday, Marcel. At the you know that song, Mr. Crowley.
Yeah.
Yeah, they played
it yesterday.
So he played it. Yeah, Ozzy played it with his band with Zach Wilde, but also Jack Black did a shorter version of it earlier. It was pretty funny. You know Jack Black, obviously.
Yeah, of course. From
Tenacious D.
Tenacious D. Yeah, with Kyle.
And also Shallow Hal. You've seen that movie?
Yeah.
You seen that? Yeah, it's a funny movie. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, I still can't change the background, but whatever. I don't care about that right now. I don't know what's going on with that. Like, it's not letting me on EVMux change it. If anyone knows, maybe Lazy Bet, he knows a lot about this stuff. Maybe if you know, brother. But anyways, I'm here now with you guys, so I'm happy. Okay, I'm deleting the one that was a mistake where I was like, fuck, this doesn't work. It's like 15 seconds long. 12 people watched it, which is hilarious. Someone even commented on it, which is too fucking funny. It's probably you. I don't even know.
No, I didn't.
No, but anyways, we're going to get into UFC Nashville here. Thank you guys for sticking around. Appreciate it. Let me know if there's any more technical issues. I'll switch back to the laptop. But I think we're good, right? I think we're good?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, cool. All right. Okay, that's deleted. Perfect. I deleted it. No one could see what we said there, which is good. And yeah, we're good to go. All right, let's get into UFC Nashville then. Give me your thoughts on this card overall. What do you think?
Yeah, okay card. Sucky main event, but overall, okay.
Why is this the main event though? It doesn't need 5 rounds. That's the problem.
This is typical. Like, we're gonna look if Derrick still gets that knockout power, and if not, we're gonna look if Teixeira knocks him out. It's either that or gonna submit him. So that's why. But I don't understand why this has been a main event. Well, if you put this as a main event, put it in the fucking Apex.
This is like the classic Apex main event to me. Like this. I think the card's actually pretty good, to be honest with you. Like, I think there's some good fights on it, but like, this main event is just, I don't know. I mean, it's an okay, like, it could have been a co-main event. I know they like using Derrick Lewis as like a big name, but again, I don't think it needs 5 rounds. I don't think the fight's going to go, it probably goes like under 1.5 rounds.
At least we're done early, so that's good.
What do you guys think of the card? Throw us in the chat. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's okay. I got out of 10.
7.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty fair. I was thinking like 6.5. So you're the Mr. Optimistic guy, not me right now, Marcel. But
has to do with the beginning of the show, I know.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's get into the card. Start with the first fight, work our way down, and funny fight here, Marcel. We got Fatima Kline taking on super smelly Melissa Martinez. I sent you the clip today.
Yeah.
My name is Melissa Super Melly Martinez. I still call her I call her Stinky, actually. That's what I call her.
Oh, God.
No, I'm just kidding. The nickname's hilarious. But yeah, it's David Martinez's sister, who's like a very good prospect. Even though I don't think he looked that great in Contender, he looked amazing in his debut. So
yeah.
Anyways, odds for this. Have you seen the odds? I don't know if have you looked at them?
I think Kline is a massive favorite.
Minus 1,400, bro.
Yo.
Okay. Yeah, plus 900 on Melissa. So, I mean, like, there's not a lot to say. I mean, I think I got to be honest with you. I think it's the easiest pick of the card. Opening up the card here, and I think it's maybe actually there's the next fight might be even too, but
yeah,
easy pick for me. I think Melissa gets probably taken down and beaten up on the ground. Kline probably finishes this fight with like ground and pound, maybe submission. I think she's going to be dominant on the ground. Like, I don't really see Martinez having too much of a chance in this fight. So I'm not sure what your thoughts are, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. What do you think?
I'm thinking Kline, man. I think Kline is stronger. She will use her wrestling probably as well. Does she get a finish? I don't know, but she's going to definitely win, I think, Yeah. But I'm kind of shocked by these odds, to be really honest.
Are you?
Yeah.
I think everyone thinks it's an easy fight, though. That's why it's like this. You know what I mean?
To be really honest, a women fight should never be minus so many odds, besides if it's like a Valentina or Amanda Nunes, or Wei Li Zhang.
Yeah. I agree. I just think it's an easy one. Let me ask you a question. Are the comments going through for you or no?
Yeah, I see them.
I can't see any comments, guys. I don't know what's going on, but I can't see anything.
We got a lot of comments, dude. Actually.
I can't see anything, so you're gonna have to read them. I can't read them, guys.
Okay,
I don't know what's going on.
You want me to read the comments?
I can't read them. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay, I will do. I will do.
My PC today. Go ahead.
As Rose says, Hot Chocolate has no damn chin, man. How is the guy still fighting? It's about Danny Roberts. The DXJC 556, who can keep up with all the PFL regional promotions when PFL itself is barely relevant? Danger Mouse says, you can't recording early. You're disrupting the Just Bleed radio schedule, stealing my co-host. Joe McKenna says there was a crazy spinning elbow KO on PFL.
Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty sick. Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that.
Seamus says Marcel rocking the pre-Turkey Joe Piper cut. Thank you, dude.
Oh, you cut your hair. You do it yourself?
Yeah.
Good.
Antoine says, what's up, boys? Fresh cut, Marcel. LazyBet says, hey, Antoine. Antoine, buddy, what's up? Love to see the UFC go back on the road. They go to Nashville pretty often, Antoine says.
Yeah, they like Nashville, I think. It's a nice home for them, you know?
Yeah. PFL next week has the best women 125 in the world fighting Dakota Ditcheva. Easy money for your betting types, says Danger Mouse.
What's her odds, though? I haven't seen that. I can take a look quickly. I'm assuming she's like, there's no odds yet? There's no odds yet. She'll probably be like minus 2,000 or something, maybe minus 3,000. I would imagine, you know.
Joe McKenna likes Martinez, by the way, in the fight.
Why do you like Martinez here, Joe? That's surprising. I mean, she's plus 900. I mean, that'd be crazy if you won. Put $10 on her, man. $20. Good payout. Anything else?
Yeah, a lot, but more like
that's
talking
okay.
like
No
what's up and all.
Yeah, just if there's any like questions, answer them. I don't know what's going on. I apologize, guys. The comments section is not working for it. It's broken. So either way, I'm glad I'm here. It's working. At least this is working. All right, let's go to the next fight here. We have another mismatch here, I would say, between Mike Davis and Mitch Ramirez. Mike Davis is a huge favorite too. Mike Davis is minus 900. Mitch is plus 600. I mean, yeah, Mike should win this fight. He didn't look very good in his last fight. I was shocked. It was against Fair Ziem, right? Man, that wasn't a good look, Marcel? But Ziem's also like kind of gotten good, right? So,
and I felt like Davis kind of came back in that fight, by the way.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It was
no, it wasn't.
Close, but no cigar, right? As they say, Marcel.
Wasn't that the fight where they were complaining about the how do you say that the how do you say, what you paint on the paint dams on the wall or something?
I can't remember, but either way, I mean, before that fight, like I was so high on the guy. I still think he's a good fighter. The problem is he doesn't fight very often, right? The good thing is it's the second fight this year, though. So I would think even though he lost, at least he got some cage time in. He went 15 minutes, which was more than he had fought in 2 years, so or 3 years even. Mitch, obviously, not a great debut, getting knocked out by Moises. Although a tough debut. Also fought Prat as on contender, so tough run for him. But I just think the level of competition, hasn't been great for this guy, and I don't think he's great, Marcel. I mean, he's like to me, he's one of these guys that's like post-pandemic type of fighter they signed for Apex cards, So I think this was like a late addition to the card, if I'm not mistaken, too, wasn't it? Kind of like a later addition.
I don't know if it's late, but it's been it was one of the latest announcements. Yeah,
I think Davis knocks him out. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm also Mike Davis on this one, man.
Yeah, surprise, right?
Yeah,
two huge favorites back to back.
Yeah, when I saw this fight, I was actually kind of surprised, and I was surprised that Mike Davis was so low on the card, man. And he's also blue corner, by the way. So
he better win this fight, though. I mean, if he loses, he's getting cut, which is crazy to say, but he better win the fight. Any other comments about the fight? Anything worth mentioning?
Mike Davis always looking for soft competition, say DXJC, and easy paychecks. His own words, not mine. People say, yeah, we're paint fumes last time. Ziam won 5 in a row, says Big Ink MMA. True, don't give people ideas. I don't know what he means with that. Davis has a lot of mental issues, says Tristan S. And Lacrum Fraud says Adam has a small dick. So,
Oh, that part. That's not true, but the rest of it's true. All right, let's go to the next fight here, guys. We have a guy that probably you could say the opposite of for sure. Kennedy Njokuani, I would imagine, 6'5" against Valter Walker, 6'6". Marcel, the heavyweight, Nick Maynard. So, Nick, this is a mixed special, this whole card.
Mick is fuming. This is on prelims. Sure.
You got a mixed special here. You got two. I guess they're both ranked. Are they both ranked? I think
Kennedy's ranked, both not ranked, I think.
Really? Kennedy's not ranked? I thought he was ranked.
He was, but not anymore, I think. Maybe I'm wrong.
He'd be ranked, though, instead of like Budai. But Budai is not that good, dude, honestly. Then again, is Kennedy that good? I don't know. But anyways, Kennedy and Njokuani taking on Valter Walker, two big boys here. Odds for this one. Kennedy's a favorite, minus 200. Walker plus 170. I'll let you start on this one. Your thoughts?
Yeah.
On the Mick Maynard special.
I think this fight sucks to pick, to be really honest, man. Yeah. Because I think Valter can submit him, for example,
Yeah.
At the same time, bro, I'm going with Kennedy. I think Kennedy might knock him out, I think it's possible. If Kennedy shows up, he should win. But sometimes Kennedy don't show up. and then he doesn't win. So, but I'm picking Kennedy by TKO.
Yeah, I have the same thoughts about the fight, guys. Like, I definitely think Walker's a live dog here. Obviously, his ground game is very dangerous. We've seen the heel hooks. I think people will bet on Walker. I kind of feel like there will be some sharper action coming in on him.
Yeah.
That being said, I mean, I still feel like Kennedy, he's got good takedown defense, 81%. The only guy who's taken down was, well, he's been taken down a couple times, but the only guy who submitted him was Paul Craig. And that Paul Craig, he was actually dominating the fight and got submitted with like 40 seconds left. That was also 6 years ago. This is a heavyweight. He's got to be careful, though. I mean, because even if he just one mistake, Walker grabbed that leg and heel hook him. I still don't know how good Valter Walker is, though. You know, like the two guys he beat are pretty bad. Yeah, clean monster. And then he lost to Dreschke, dude. That's awful. You know, and that fight was not very good either. But he did take him down a bit. So got to be careful about that. It's not a fight I want to bet on, but my pick's Kennedy by knockout. I think he knocks him up too. Again, though, you could play both sides here. Do Kennedy by knockout and Walker by submission. That's interesting, but pass for me. All right, let's go to the next fight here. We have I don't know about this fight either. Dude, you know what? You gave this card a 7? I don't know, bro. To be honest, some of these fights, this one, Eduarda Moura against Lauren Murphy, you should not be fighting. I mean, I like Lauren, but 43 years old, Marcel coming back after a long layoff here. Jeez, you know. And I like Lauren. I mean, I have nothing against her, you know. I'm just really surprised she's taking on this opponent here because look at the odds too, dude. Like minus 700 against a plus 500 Lauren. I want Lauren to win because I like her, you know. Like she's a veteran. I remember her in Invicta back in the day. I remember when she fought this girl. What's that kickboxer she fought, Marcel? Miriam Nakamoto. Remember that girl?
No, Invicta. Not really.
Really? Kickboxer. Okay. So I remember she beat her, and I bet on her. She won the championship years ago. It was like an injury stoppage, but I was happy about it. Yeah, I mean, she's been in the UFC since 2014, so a lot of experience, fought the best in the world, but again, hasn't fought in over 2.5 years. She's 40. I'm sorry, I don't want to age her too much. She's turning 42 later this month, so I said 43. My apologies, Lauren. But she hasn't fought in 2 years. The last time we saw her, she absorbed 231 strikes by Jessica Andrade. Not good. Takedown defense, 69%, not that good. Eduarda Moura, 2-1 in the UFC. Better at flyweight, I think. You know, not cutting all that weight. Minus 700 it's heavy odds, but I think she wins. I think she just makes this ugly and wins an ugly decision. The odds suck minus 700, but I think she wins. What do you think?
Yeah, man, you're talking long about a fight that's pretty easy to pick, in my opinion. Eduarda Moura is going to win here. I like Lauren Murphy a lot. I hope she actually goes out with a win in her last fight. You know, it would be good for her, but I think that's
it's her last fight for sure? She said that?
Yeah, she said that. This is her last fight.
What a retirement fight, Jesus. She should have went out after the Tate fight, to be honest with you. That would have been the best way to do it.
Plus, I never pick somebody who says it's a retirement fight unless it's like a really competitive fight. I think Moura might be stronger right now, you know, and she's younger. I'm thinking Moura, I think she even can get the finish on the ground, but I'm going by decision, going by safe, because Moura gasses normally in the later rounds. So
the only thing is, though, like I agree with what you're saying, but like I do think Lauren's. You could argue she's a better striker, you know.
Yeah.
But the thing is, she's going to get taken down. She's going to get taken down. So. Whoa! Holy shit! Someone just died. Woo! All right, both taking more as always, guys. We're taking the big dogs. All right, the big favorites. I mean, this one's interesting. Jake Matthews taking on Chidi and Njokuani. Read me a storybook, my friend. You gotta love this guy. He actually does some reading of books now, Marcel. I don't know if I told you about.
Bro, imagine a conversation between Chidi and Njokuani and Mick Maynard.
Do it.
It's like, hey Mick. Do you have a fight for me? I'm looking for a fight. Hi, Chidi. What amazing to talk to you, brother. Let me see what I have for you. Call me back in 10 minutes, man. I'm just up there.
This is the Mick Maynard special. We got the Vegas guy against the fellow Aussie. The odds for this fight are actually close. So this is one of the interesting fights in the card. Because I think there's a lot of big favorites on this card, guys, if you look at it. Chidi minus 150, Jake plus 130. So actually some money's come in on Chidi the last few days. I like him in this fight, though. I do think he wins this fight. Now, the thing is, he's an older guy. He's the same age as me. He's 36, turning 37 this year. But since he moved to welterweight, man, he's looked like rejuvenated. 3-0, coming off that devastating knockout over Tallison, where I believe he did miss weight, right? Is that he missed weight, right?
I don't know anymore. Looked too long ago.
No worries. But, I mean, that's why I think he didn't get the bonus, if I'm mistaken. I can double check. But I mean, the guy is a devastating striker. He missed weight by 1.25 pounds. So that wasn't good. But again, if he can make the weight and fight at welterweight, he's going to be bigger than most people. He's huge for this division. Great striker. Some of the best Muay Thai, I would say, in the UFC. Actually, him and Carlos Prates would be a really fun fight. He's not anywhere close to him in the rankings, but maybe if he wins this fight, who knows? But his takedown defense is very good too. And his striking is good. Jake Matthews, okay, so it's crazy. Jake has way more fights, right, in the UFC. Because Jake, I thought the age difference would be more, but Jake's been in the UFC for 11 years, Marcel, and he's 30 now. But so much experience in the UFC. The thing is, though, if you look at Jake's record, like, he's kind of fought in, like, the worst guys in the division for the most part that he's beaten, at least. His only really good wins are Lee and I guess Rowe is a decent win, although it wasn't like a great performance because he was kind of he did what he had to do. He took him down and beat him up, but like a lot of the guys he beat were cut, So I like Chidi here, man. I think Chidi's like the way better striker. I think his takedown defense is good enough to keep it standing. And if Jake can't get the fight to the ground, he's in trouble here. I think Jake has to wrestle him to win. I think on the feet he's in big trouble. So Chidi probably by decision because Jake is tough. I mean, he's only been knocked out once by Kevin Lee in 2016. So he's very, very durable, but I think he gets beaten up, like stuff that he stuffs the takedowns, keeps it standing, and outstrikes Jake on the feet, beats him up there, wins like maybe 29-28, I'll say. So I like Chidi. What do you think?
Watch out behind you. Watch out behind you. There's a dog. There's a dog.
Are you doing it?
Yeah, of course. I'm thinking Jake. I think he can win at least 2 out of 3 rounds. I'm not as high on Chidi as you were. A lot of people are. I'm also not as high on Jake, to be really honest. For me, it's kind of a coin flip fight. I think both it's kind of 50-50, but I prefer to take Jake here. So I'm picking Jake.
It's fair. Do you think he win like wrestles?
Yeah, decision. I think he wins 2 of the 3 rounds.
Yeah, I think it'll be competitive, but I like Chidi to win. All right, let's go to the next fight here. We have Chris Curtis taking on Max Griffin. I hope this fight happens because Chris got into a bit of a scrum last week with that.
He didn't do anything, actually, right?
He put his hands on him, dude. He had no business.
Yeah, but I think if he didn't do that, Sean would have punched. Those punches would have landed, to be honest. So,
probably.
Yeah.
Sean, if anyone's going to get suspended, it's Sean, even though I don't think he does. Because the other dude said he doesn't want them suspended. So, anyways, Chris is a big favorite here, Marcel, against Max. Minus 305 for Chris Curtis, moving down to welterweight against Max Griffin plus 255. And Max, I don't know if he's announced this is his last fight, but I think it could be. Or he might like move to, I think he could do like bare knuckle or something. I wouldn't be surprised, Marcel, to be honest with you. I think Chris is the better fighter still at this point of their careers. Max looked pretty bad in the last fight, man, against Chiesa. He just looked terrible in that fight, guys. It was like such a bad performance. And it's the guy I think is an underrated fighter, Max Griffin. He's been in the UFC a long time. He's had some good wins, but that was such a bad look to me. And it kind of shows that he is on the decline. He's turning 40 this year, so no surprise there. And then Chris is turning 38 next week. So he's also a little bit older, but I think he's still competitive in his fights. Like he arguably beat Brendan Allen. The Coppola fight was like pretty close until he got knocked out with the second left. He's still competitive. I also think at welterweight he'll be better sized compared to when he was fighting middleweight. So I think Chris Curtis wins here, man. Probably it feels like a decision, but he does have power, so you never know. Probably Curtis though. I think Curtis wins. What do you think?
I think competitive fight, but I think Curtis going to win as well. Yeah, decision. I think competitive fight, a typical fight that goes 29-28, and probably a close, maybe even split. I think there will be close, but I'm going with Curtis here. Yeah.
You surprised he's minus 300? You think it's a little high?
Yeah, I would have been. I think it should have been a little bit more closer. Definitely since Curtis moves down again now. It's not a middleweight Curtis, a welterweight Curtis. So
yeah, some question marks. I would line it at like minus 200. I think he's a little overvalued here, but I still think he probably wins the fight. All right, let's go to the next one here, guys. We have the opening main card bout, and this is the Mick Maynard special, right? Marcel opening the main card with the light heavyweights, right? There you go. The former heavyweight junior Tafa dropping down, right, to take on Tuko Tokkos, who Bert MMA says the worst fighter in the UFC. Did he not? I think he did.
Yeah, that Tuko said like your mother told me something else last night.
I think they're actually boys, and it's just like an inside joke because I see them like they did the collaboration, right, or something like that. Didn't he break this fight? I thought he did.
No,
I'm
he
not
didn't.
mistaken. He didn't. Okay, I saw them talking like a little bit back and forth. So I think they're boys, and that was a joke, but it was kind of funny. Either way, I wouldn't have said that to a guy kicking my ass, but you never know. Minus 150 for Junior, plus 130 for Tokkos. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Junior's that good. He's a decent striker. Obviously, he's got the power. 205 is a better weight class for him. He's not as big as Justin, doesn't have that frame that Justin does. So I think it's better for him. Tokkos could win the fight if he gets the takedown, though, right? Because his ground game is decent. So that's the problem here, right? If he gets taken down. That being said, I mean, he probably gets chinned. So Junior by knockout, I just don't have a ton of interest in betting on this one. What do you think?
Yeah, we're going for Tokkos by submission.
Yeah, you are?
Yeah.
Okay, hit the button. Go.
Yeah, I mean, I got to pick some dogs here. I think this is a possibility. So, it's either knockout by Tafa or probably submission.
It's just like the Nzechukwu and Valter Walker fight.
Yeah.
By the way, they still have to do Johnny Walker versus Justin Tafa, and then they got to do Junior against the other way around. I mean, right? It would be the other way around. Justin versus Walker, and then Johnny versus Junior. I guess they could do that maybe if he loses his next fight, which he probably does. Johnny Walker. All right, let's go to the next fight here, guys. This is the McMahon heavyweight special. Former light heavyweight Vitor Petrino taking on Austen Lane, coming off an absolutely devastating knock against Mario Pinto. Odds for this one, Marcel, do you want to guess?
I think Petrino is minus 1,300.
No, he's not that big. He's minus 700.
Okay,
Lane plus 500. I guess just because it is heavyweight. I mean, Lane does have power. Obviously, he has a ground game. Marcel, he actually probably has the greater ground game, Austen Lane. But the problem is, like, he's got the worst chain probably in the division. I think all that football he played. We've seen a lot of guys that come from football, like Brendan Schaub and some other guys that didn't have a good chin, even though they were skilled. So I think Lane has some skill. I mean, he was looking pretty good against Mario Pinto, right? In that fight, didn't he drop him, if I'm mistaken?
Yeah, or he wobbled him, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, like he looked good in that. He won the first round. Then he didn't. Did he drop? He double check. I think he did. Yeah, he dropped him, and then obviously got destroyed in the second round. But he outlanded him, and he looked okay. And then obviously we saw against Rebellis that he has some takedowns. So I don't think he's a terrible fighter. I'm glad they re-signed him. But the problem is, like, I mean, his chin is just it's not good. And Vitor, despite the last couple of fights, including that just brutal knockout loss against Dustin Jacoby, I think this might be a good move moving up to heavyweight. Doesn't have to cut weight. He'll be a much faster fighter. He's a younger guy. He should be just better everywhere. So, except for, like, again, on the ground, I do think that Lane, he's the bigger guy, so you could hold him there. But no, it's going to be Petrino by knockout. But again, minus 700 for heavyweights. It's a little scary. But I'm assuming you're picking Petrino by knockout.
I mean, unless he sends his twin brother again, he's going to win.
Like the guy fought Dustin in the third round. That guy.
Yeah.
That was crazy. He was like cruising in that fight, and then bang, that was nuts. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Let's go to the next fight here, guys. We have Morgan, the last pirate, Charriere, taking on Nate Landwehr, who's fighting at home, Tennessee native, Marcel. And the odds for this one, minus 255 Morgan, plus 215 Nate. What's your thoughts?
You go first on this one. Don't give me the difficult ones.
No, I think it's a tricky one. I think Nate definitely has a chance to win this fight. Again, not a fight I would bet on, And I've said that about a bunch of fights in this card. This card, there's some variance going to happen in this card. I think maybe even one of these big favorites goes down. Wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, I mean, the problem with this fight is, like, Nate, he's so hit or miss. I feel like, when he looks good, man, he looks great. But when he looks bad, he looks terrible. The last fight was bad against Dewey Choi. I also think Charriere looked bad against Wood, but a different type of fight. The problem with Charriere too, like, if you look at his record, decisions he often loses. So he's probably gonna have to knock Landwehr out, which I do think it can happen. Landwehr's been knocked out a bunch of times in the UFC, but again, it's tricky because Nate's fighting at home. Nate is probably the more well-rounded guy, but again, Morgan's the younger guy. 7 years, pretty big difference. Marcel, probably more durable guy, harder to finish. I got to go with Charriere probably by knockout, but again, this wouldn't surprise me if Nate was able to win the decision. What do you think?
By the way, Lazy Bet says they are lucky Tafa was willing to stoop to this. Everyone knows Tafa has pay-per-view exclusives.
Oh, yeah. Supposed to be. Justin against Tallison Teixeira was pay-per-view, so.
Yeah. Oh man, it's such a difficult fight, I think, because we know Nate is fighting in front of his home state. He's from Clarksville, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
he's fighting Morgan Charriere, who comes off a bad loss against Nathaniel Wood, in my opinion. But he's decent, he always is entertaining in his fights. So is Landwehr, so I expect a finish here. Man, I'm going for a
Dog?
Charriere.
Okay.
Excuse me?
I thought you were taking the dog. It sounded
Oh,
like
no,
you
no,
were.
no, no. I go with Charriere, but it's not like a confident pick at all. So I'm picking him, but not confident pick.
I felt pretty much the same way about this fight. I mean, we felt the same way about a lot of fights, even the ones you took the dog. Well, I guess I feel pretty good with Chidi, but the other fight with Tokkos, like, I mean, that's
God
there's a lot of variance,
God is such nasty, but okay.
Yeah.
You feel the same way when I took the dog. Like, well, okay.
All right, how about this? I know, that's funny. That's bad. All right, how about this fight? This one's really interesting to me. Odds for this fight, Marcel, are dead even now. So money's coming in on Calvin Kattar against Steve Garcia. Interesting. -110 each here, Marcel.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens as far as the line goes. It might end up being Kattar as the favorite, which is crazy. But
Let's
I
hope.
mean, I like Steve Garcia in this fight, dude. I'm taking Steve Garcia. There's a few reasons for this. So the guy's on a hot streak. He's on 5 straight fights by knockout. He's looked incredible, knocking everyone out. He's actually 6-1 in his last 7 fights with 6 knockouts. He's just a knockout machine. They call him the machine, the mean machine. It's going to be called the knockout machine. Hasn't fought the best competition, but I do think like that fight, for instance, the win over Chase Hooper is looking better, and the win over Melky Costa looks really good, I think, too. That win looks really good. So at the time, it didn't look great, but it's looking better now. Calvin Kattar, he's fought in way better competition. This is the thing about this fight. He's lost 4 straight, lost 5 of 6, right? It hasn't looked good. Looks kind of washed. Looked pretty good against Zalal in the 3rd round, but other than that, he's looked really bad the last few fights. He looks like a guy that's on the decline. So, but the problem is the level of competition. You got Steve Garcia beating guys that are unranked and Calvin losing the guys that are ranked. So that's the tricky part about this fight. And I guess that's why people are betting on Calvin. But for me, it's like I have to take the guys on the hot hand and the momentum, man. The younger fighter and the guy who's, I think, at this point, the better fighter. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a stand-up fight. I don't see any grappling in this fight. It'd be fun. Calvin Kattar's very durable. I think he's only been finished by like Arnold Allen. It was like was a knee injury, right? He's very durable. So if Steve can knock out Kattar, that shoots him like, I mean, if he wins this fight, he gets ranked. So, but if he knocks him out, like it probably bump him past guys like Zalal and guys who are just waiting decisions. So I'm taking Steve Garcia, Marcel. I want to hear your thoughts on this one. I got Garcia. I'm going to take him by knockout.
I mean, I hope he ends up as a dog because then we have a consensus dog pick because I'm also going with Garcia.
Okay.
So the thing is with Kattar, man, Kattar hasn't been impressive in a long time. He was coming back against Zalal, but I mean, it's just it looks like he's past his prime, and I think a lot of people still think like he's not being finished because Maxwell couldn't even finish him, but he's getting older. Garcia's on a hot streak, like you said.
Yeah,
I think it's a possibility Garcia knocks him out, but we'll see, man. Maybe I'm too much. How do you say that? Focusing too much on the finish here, I might go to a decision, and maybe then Kattar can actually win, But now I'm going with Garcia, man. I'm also with you in this one.
there you go. So we have the same pick in this one, guys. We have, we'll see. I mean, it's a pickup fight.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next fight here. We have co-main event here: Stephen Thompson taking on Gabriel Bonfim, and Gabriel Bonfim's a pretty big favorite, -360 plus 285. Stephen Thompson. Stephen's the oldest fighter in the UFC. He's 43 years old. Even though he doesn't look it, I mean, good for him. He doesn't look his age at all.
Yeah.
But obviously getting up there in age now, doesn't fight as often. He's struggled lately, lost 4 of his last 5 fights, coming off an absolute devastating loss to Marcel's favorite journeyman, Joaquin Buckley. You love that.
Yeah,
no, it was a close fight. I mean, it was close, right? It was tied, I think, on the scorecards. Or there was 3 different scorecards, right? I think it was 2-1, 2-0, 2-2,
yeah.
and 1-1, right?
Yeah.
I think I had it 1-1. I can't remember.
Me too.
I think we both did. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, this is a step down compared to who he's been fighting, but at the same time, Bonfim has looked great. I mean, he looked incredible against Chaos Williams, which I guess that win doesn't look as good now after Chaos looked pretty bad against Andreas Gustafsson, to be fair. But, other than the fight with Dalby, where he kind of got fraud checked by according to a lot of people, even though Dalby's pretty good. the guys look pretty good. His ground game is incredible, and he's got some striking too. So I think he's kind of gotten better. So I mean, I'm definitely taking Bonfim here. I do think the odds are kind of high though, right? Like Thompson at these odds, like what if he keeps it standing? He's the better striker, right? For sure.
The problem is, can he keep it standing?
No,
that's the thing, and that's what I also think he can't, So for me, it's also Bonfim here. I think Bonfim finishes Thompson,
Submission?
Yeah, Bonfim had one massive stinker against Dalby, the one he lost in the third round, because he ran out of gas. Besides that, he has looked good so far in the UFC, man. He looked spectacular against Chaos Williams. I think it's a deserved step up in competition. I'm picking Bonfim here to win by stoppage.
I'm just checking what the scorecards were in Shavkat and Thompson. It was a competitive fight too, wasn't it?
I don't think so.
No. Yeah, it was one. Never mind. It was. I feel like what was the fight that was? Oh, I'm thinking about Shavkat and Jeff Veal. My bad. Sorry about that. Yeah, no, that fight was. He just took him down. 63% takedown defense. It's not good, guys. And listen, if it was prime Stephen Thompson, the guy who fought Woodley, he'd have a good chance to win this fight. But it's not. Thompson, 43 years old. Sorry, I said 43. He's 42. Excuse me.
I don't just everybody plus one.
I don't know why. I thought he was 43. I thought he was the oldest fighter. I guess it's is it Jan? It's the oldest fighter.
I think it's Thompson.
Are they both 40? Oh yeah, they're both 42. Okay. Yeah. Thompson's older. Yes, knock that off, dude. I can always hear that thing. It's okay.
I'm
though.
sorry.
Don't worry about it. I don't know why you always play with that thing. You can't play with your dick on the podcast.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
No, he's a week older than Jan. So they're both 42. I know. I'm just joking. All right, let's go to the next fight here. The main event, Marcel, the Mick Maynard heavyweight special. Derrick Lewis against Tallison Teixeira. Odds for this one, Teixeira's a big favorite, minus 260. Derrick Lewis plus 220. I'm taking Teixeira by knockout, but it's like I don't feel good about these odds. I don't feel great about them, I think the way you'd have to play is him by knockout just to cut the juice down because you don't want to lay minus 260 on the guy. I think the better way to do it is to bet him by knockout. Derrick's also an older guy in his 40s. He has a puncher's chance, as I think we both agree, but most likely, Marcel, he probably gets chinned here, dude. Probably. I think this fight finishes in the first 1.5 rounds. So under for me and Teixeira by knockout. What's your thoughts?
I'm so bored with Derrick Lewis main events, dude. I'm like, because there is a possibility that he knocks out Teixeira, dude. There's definitely a possibility, because Teixeira hasn't beat anybody of anybody amazing. He beat Tafa last time, which was a good win, by the way. The way he did it,
the elbow was nasty.
Yeah, and he beat a Brazilian guy, which has John Jones as his nickname.
What's his name? Arthur John Jones. What's his name again?
Something
Arthur,
like that.
I want to check his name again because actually, that guy actually landed some. Arthur Lopez. Yeah. He actually landed a few punches in that fight, Marcel.
I remember that. Yeah,
it was a little sketch, right?
That's why I picked Tafa in that fight against Teixeira last time. So,
but this guy's so big though. He's huge, dude. He's massive. 6'7", 83-inch reach. Yeah,
I'm picking Teixeira, but I'm not sure, man. I think if Derrick lands, he gets also chinned. So, Teixeira by knockout probably. But
again, though, it's
I don't give a shit, to be honest.
Yeah, no, he's 14 years younger. I mean, that's such a big advantage. He should win this fight.
They honestly should do everybody after the top 6 in heavyweight should only fight one round.
I know you want to if you were Mick Maynard or Dana White for a day, you cut the heavyweight division. Right?
Oh, heavyweight. If I had to pick or I had to cut a division, heavyweight gets out immediately.
What comes in? Women's featherweight?
I don't know. Maybe nothing.
Women's strawweight women's atomweight.
I would have never started featherweight. I would have started with atomweight, never featherweight women.
They should just move bantamweight to 140. I think that would help a lot of girls out too. Yeah. Why are they're killing these girls to make 135? Anyways, guys,
then an actual number one contender fight ends up to be a 145. So stupid.
No, I know. All right, let me recap the card then. Both picked Kline. We both think she finishes. Both picked Davis. I think we both think he finishes. Both picked Kennedy. We both think he finishes. We both picked Moura. Decision in that one? We both had decision?
Decision.
Yeah. I took Chidi, and Marcel took Jake. We both think it goes the distance. Both took Curtis by the decision. So a lot of the early fights, the early fights we took finishes. Then we took some decisions, and now we go up to the main card. We both took I took Tafa by knockout. Marcel took Tokkos by submission. So both think it ends quick. Both took Vitor by knockout. We both took Charriere by finish, but we're not sure about that one. We both took Kattar. We both like him at those odds. We both are hoping he flips to an underdog, so we have to get set this dog, Marcel. That'd be nice. Both took Bonfim by sub and both took Teixeira by knockout. It's not. We agreed on most of the fights, and we agreed on the method, which is kind of interesting to me. So I kind of feel like this card, it looks easy to pick, but I think you're going to see a couple upsets that maybe we didn't even see coming. Like there's 5 or 6 guys, Marcel, that are like minus 500. Don't you think at least one of them might like have trouble here?
Of course.
But who's it going to be? That's the question, right? You never know. So, is there any questions? I can't read the comments. Anything you want to read?
Remove limit breaks has cut heavyweight to 245, in my opinion. Then Danger Mouse says, are you a Joe Jones fan or something? Duke McDuck says, did you see Marcus Buchecha is in talks to sign with the UFC?
Yes. Amy Martin posted that. Yeah.
Yeah, but there was a whole story to that.
Is he actually released though by when now?
Yeah, he's released by one, but he's with the UFC. They act like they're in talks. But,
is he signed though, or he's signed?
Bro, I think Bird MMA just posted that he's fighting Martin Budai in Abu Dhabi. I've heard about this fight like 2 months. I've heard about this fight like 2 months ago. So
you should win that fight. Martin. This is funny. Whenever that happens, then the guy mysteriously gets ranked. All of a sudden, Martin's a number 14. It's funny, eh?
Yeah.
For Abu Dhabi, right? That's the rumor. Abu Dhabi?
That's the rumor. Yeah. So they're gonna say that's short notice. This is not short notice, man. They both know about it. So Espradas versus Neil Real for 319. So
I've heard that too.
The thing is, like, I think AG Fight posted it, or Leo Guimaraes, I don't know. And then MMA Fighting posted it. And I asked Pradas' side, and they are saying, like, we have no idea why they posted it, because, like, we got this offer 3 weeks ago, and we said, yeah, okay, sure, we're in. And then we haven't heard anything anymore. No contracts, nothing. And then I don't know where it gets posted, So they were like, we don't know if it's actually happening because we haven't heard back from the UFC anymore. So nothing is signed. There are no contracts yet. That's also the reason why I haven't posted it. So probably happening, but it's not done deal yet.
For what card? That was Chicago?
319, yeah.
That card needs fights.
Yeah.
Is Patty versus? Have you heard anything else? Or is that just?
I think that's bullshit, man.
That was just DDP. Like he saw something and just.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah.
I thought he actually had like an inside knowledge of because it's his card, right? He's headlining it, but. All right, cool. We're gonna do fight announcements. We're gonna do so. Just say, don't answer those questions. Anything else though about the card that you want to answer, or is that it?
Any updates on Amasov coming to UFC? I have no idea, man. Antoine asked, what's your personal favorite fight on this card? So you go.
Oh, that's a great question. I think that's an awesome question, Antoine. I like the Garcia and Kattar fight. That's my favorite fight. What do you think?
It's a difficult question, actually.
That or Morgan Charriere and Landwehr. I think
that's the one. That's the one I'm picking. Yeah.
Back-to-back featherweight fights. You gotta love the featherweight division, right? That's one of your favorites.
For sure.
What's your favorite division? It's bantamweight, you said?
I love bantamweight. I love flyweight. I love lightweight. I love featherweight. Welterweight is okay. Middleweight, light heavyweight.
Anything except for heavyweight and light heavyweight, right?
I'm big myself, but I never like. It's just like they only have gas for one round. Most of the guys, the top is better. The top has more gas. And Alvin Hines, obviously, he had gas for 15 minutes.
Hold on. Mick Maynard does what divisions does Mick do again? You told me this like 2 weeks ago.
He does heavyweight,
light heavyweight.
I think so too. Middleweight. I think Sean does.
Anything below? Or no, Mick does the flyweights, doesn't it?
Mick does also the flyweights and all the women divisions.
So Sean does less than Mick.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe Sean has the same amount of fighters because those divisions are more fighters.
Yeah. Don't you see like every time they announce for a certain card or the first fights are always either heavyweights or women, and then you know that Mick Maynard is much quicker than Sean Shelby with contracts.
Sean's so slow with the contracts coming out, eh? Yeah. As you've talked to the fighters about it, yeah. Anyways, anything else burning here? Any other questions, or are we?
Let me see. No, not really.
Okay.
We're a lot of comments. What about the fights?
Fair enough. No, okay, guys. We're going to do fight announcements. We'll do them for about 15 minutes, Marcel and I. So appreciate you guys joining us. Sorry again for starting late, although we ended up ending at 4. We ended up 50 minutes early anyways, Marcel. So we'll see you guys in a few minutes. I'll tweet out the fight announcements. Thanks again, guys, and we'll talk to you guys in a few minutes if you can join us.